Howdy folks, it's CT from CT in My Shoes, and today I was going to do a video about the gear that I use when I cycle. That's the second part of my series of gear, but I got a package in and it really was too exciting not to share with y'all, so I wanted to do this video and walk you through a really awesome announcement. This past year, when I was evaluating my weight loss journey and my fitness journey, I was taking a hard look at what I was eating, what I was drinking, and on January 1st, I made the decision to try it out and give up alcohol for a couple of weeks. And my plan was I'd do dry January, and then my buddy had his bachelor party in February, so maybe I'd just do 7 weeks of dry and see what it's like. Then I would have the bachelor party, and then Tampa Bay Beer Week in March, and then my birthday in March. And after that, I would be able to evaluate and say, hey, did I like my life without alcohol, or did I miss alcohol enough to where it warrants it? And be able to compare. I'm a data guy, so I wanted to be able to compare how my life was without it versus how with it. So if you didn't know, for the last 2 decades, I've been drinking beer and some liquor here and there, but mainly beer. In 2011, I really kind of made a hobby out of it. I started traveling to breweries and trying new beers. I started using Untapped pretty regularly and taking all kinds of things. I'm a data nerd, so I think I've visited over 1,400 breweries. I had almost 20,000 unique beers, and all of that, what did it bring me? And what I really kind of had this realization earlier this year is like, what did that bring me besides being overweight? What did that contribute to my life? And yes, I've made some amazing friends along the way. I've had some great experiences. I don't want to discount that at all or act like that didn't happen. It did, and they're part of my life, and I love them for it. But if I wanted to get serious about this health journey, I needed to do something about it. And as a creature of habit, the process of opening that beer can had become like second nature to me. I relied on it when I'm sitting on the patio, when I'm at the pool, something, just cracking it open and be able to hold something cold, being able to tick something into an app, gamifying it. These were all like conditioned actions that had responses that were part of me. And so I needed a way to replace that without going purely cold turkey. I needed something. And that's when we found this store. My neighbor and I found this store called Herban Flow. And so we went, and Herban Flow had an amazing selection of non-alcoholic beer. I was blown away. It was like a regular bottle shop, but for non-alcoholic. Normally, when you think non-alcoholic beer, you think Heineken, you think Bud Zero, all these like beers that are just terrible. Like you're stuck drinking them maybe because you're pregnant or because you have a surgery or you have medicine, you can't take alcohol. It is not good. Herban Flow changed my mind about all of that. The opportunity to try these beers. A lot of the breweries have the ability to buy a case and ship it to you, which is great. But if you don't know if it's good, do you really want to commit to 24 cans? That's very difficult. So went to Herban Flow and I started doing a couple mixed 6s, mixed 12 packs to try the different varieties that are available to me. So I started doing that in January, and I really just kind of, really enjoyed it. I like the feeling of being sober. I like the feeling of having a couple drinks, but not feeling it, not feeling like garbage the next day, not forgetting the next day. What I found also was, I was spending less money, because when I was drinking 5, 6, 7, 8 of these 300 calorie triple IPAs, which are delicious, and I love the nuance and complexity of the hops and the malt bill and being able to talk about it with my friends. But at the end of the day, that's 2,000 calories. And then on top of that, I'm like, now I want Taco Bell. So it's even more calories. It's just a lot of this empty cycle. When I removed that from my life, I was feeling better. I could go for a bike ride right after. I could go for a walk right after. I didn't feel bogged down, hazy and foggy from the alcohol. So I enjoyed it. When February rolled around, I had the bachelor party, and it was a lot of fun. But what I realized was I didn't need to order the alcohol. I actually saved money on my tab. We went to Burn Steakhouse, and I saved money on my tab by not ordering alcohol. And in return, I was able to order the nice steak, which was kind of cool. The weekend was amazing. Tampa Bay Beer Week came, and I had so much fun going to all these events. But I sat and looked around, and I was like, I've done this before. I've done this for the last 2 years. These people are great, but this is an experience that I've already had. And I've been trying to lose weight now for a couple years, and maybe this is what's holding me back. Maybe these added calories, these experiences that I've had before and were fun, maybe I should try something new. So I decided after that, I would take a course of selectively sober or selective sobriety, whichever way you want to pan that. And what I mean by that is, if a friend comes in town and they want to go to Green Bench for the new beer, let's do it. If you want to grab the new release stout at Cycle, sounds amazing, all right, I'll go have it. I'm not hemmed into a sober life. It's more that I'm focusing on being sober, but every now and then I might go have a drink. When I travel, I still love hitting breweries. I think it's a great way to understand neighborhoods and towns and see growth and patterns. So when I travel, I'm still planning on hitting some breweries, but my consumption is going to be a lot different. My alcohol tolerance is just absolutely shot compared to what it was. So maybe I'll have a Crispy Boy and get out of there. Who knows? But what I found is, since then, not only have I been losing weight, but also I've been feeling clear. I've been feeling more honest with myself, more real up in my headspace. And that has been awesome. In the process of this selective sobriety, I've also found what's called functional beverages. Now you may say, what's functional beverages? It's branding, it's marketing. But when you think about functional beverages, what we're talking about is a beverage that isn't just water and sugar. It's a beverage that has different elements that can bring positive influence to your life. Technically, alcohol, beer would be a functional beverage. Its function would be to poison you and make you feel good. But a functional beverage, when I'm talking about it, is something that, let's say, has herbs and something to cause clarity, to help your brain function, your liver function. When you think of Eastern medicine, and when you think of like these remedies, these household remedies, you think of these teas that don't taste good, but you're like, oh, I know that this herb is good for my liver. I know that this herb is good for my stomach. Those would be a functional beverage, like at its core. So anything that the ingredients themselves have different functions is a functional beverage. And so when I started going to Herban Flow, I started looking and finding drinks that had, ashwagandha, drinks that had valerian root for sleep, stuff like that, that actually meant something when you drank it, not just here's some sugar and some calories, boom, we're done, let's have some fun. Those have a place, and I get it, I'm not dogging that. But for me personally, that needed to stop. I needed to stop ingesting calories that were empty. And right about now, I'm sure you've noticed in the market, there's a huge explosion of mushrooms. Mushrooms are getting into everything. So that's been another big aspect of this. Finding the different mushrooms that help your body in different ways. So whether it's cordyceps or lion's mane or reishi or turkey tail, learning that this one helps your liver, this one helps your skin, this one helps your cognitive function. Whichever mushroom you're looking at, they're in different drinks, they're in different chocolates, they're in different gummies. And when I went to Herban Flow, they had a whole section of mushroom cocktails and elixirs. So it gave me the opportunity to start exploring. So I was in heaven. I love exploration of new flavors, exploration of new things. And so for the first couple months I was going, met Mike, I met Caitlin, and I just enjoyed the store. I'd go in and get my regular load, come back, drink it at the pool. I have my beer account, Journey of Brews, and I was drinking on there. I was tagging some of those. And I'm going to be honest, some of the NA beers, not very good, but some of them were kind of amazing, like good enough for real beer. And that's when I kind of took a step back and I was like, okay, maybe I should think about this. Like, I have this presence of visiting all these breweries and stuff like that. Maybe I could use that as a platform. And, maybe I shouldn't waste the progress I've made there. So a couple times later when I was in the store, I was talking with Mike about the opportunities for more beers and for more interaction and development with the NA game. And we started a conversation. And he was asking me what I was doing. I was telling him about my races. I was telling him about the local races and how I was working towards a triathlon at the time. And I thought it was, amazing that I could say that. Like, I'm working towards a triathlon. Here's me who just 2 years ago was 503 pounds. And I'm working towards a triathlon. It felt so cool to tell someone that and actually be doing it. Fast forward a couple weeks and I went in, I was talking to him, and that's when he actually proposed to me that maybe we could come to some kind of sponsorship agreement. Maybe we could come to some kind of arrangement where Herban Flow helped me with my races and helped me with my, prep and energy drinks and recovery drinks. And in return, I would wear their logo. I would talk about them. And so we started this discussion. And lo and behold, the announcement today that I want to talk about is we have agreed to a partnership. I will be racing on Team Herban Flow. And this is actually my Yazam brand shirt. They do custom shirts with the cool logos. Now, each one of these icons represents different elements at the store. You have your Cannabis Thrive drinks, your NA beers, your NA liquors, your NA wines. We have teas. We have functional beverages, and then, obviously some beer, wheat there. So, yeah, all the elements. I am stoked beyond belief. Look at this. How good does that look? It's got both of our information on there. It's bright. It's loud. This is the kind of shirt that I want to wear. This is how I want to represent a company that I believe in. Herban Flow has gone above and beyond, providing great opportunities and great options for the St. Pete community to reduce their alcohol intake. It's not necessarily always about removing it, but reducing it, focusing on something more healthy. So I am proud to be part of Team Herban Flow, and I am proud to be able to represent them in my upcoming races. The first race will be 4 on the 4th, on July 4th, Pier Fest, or Pier Run Fest, where I'm going to be running around. I'll be walking, but it'll be 4 miles around the pier. I'll be wearing this bright shirt and probably some patriotic shorts. So if you're in the neighborhood, come by and check it. And then that weekend, I'll be doing the triathlon at Fort DeSoto as part of the Fort DeSoto trilogy. I was sad. I signed up for the St. Anthony's Triathlon at the end of April. My sisters came in town. It was going to be a great weekend, and the weather hit, and it canceled the swim part. So technically, it wasn't a triathlon. It was a duathlon. And so I've been trying to figure out, how can I be a triathlete? Well, Fort DeSoto Triathlon is going to be it. So that week I've got a 4-miler, and then the triathlon. August, not quite sure where I'm going to be focused my running in August. September, I'm doing a half marathon up in Wisconsin. And then in October, I believe that is the Pride Run. And then November, I have St. Pete Run Fest, where I'll do a 10K. And then the Turkey Trot, Coffee Bayou Turkey Trot. And then in December, we're doing hopefully a 5K with my family in Austin. So got a pretty good race calendar set up. But all of this, I wanted to say thank you so much to everyone who's been supporting me since day one, since before day one, since before when they noticed my friend, my loved one needs help, but they didn't push me. They let me find it in my own time. I'm a very stubborn person, and I appreciate my loved ones for letting me find it in my own time, for not yelling at me and being, concerned and loving, but at the same time supportive. Our society has gotten so polarized on words and their meanings, and we like to say that the word obese is offensive. No, it's not. It's a medical term, and I suffer from morbid obesity, and I'm working on it. But I think it's more the way we say the word, not the word itself. I think it's more the intention of it. So many people use obesity as a violent word, when really it's just a fact. And I feel like our society is so quick to judge fat people. We're so quick to write off fat people as not pretty, as not healthy, as not anything, not worthy of the same space that skinny people are, because skinny people have figured it out. But what's interesting is nearly half of our country is obese. Over 70% of our country is overweight. And so we've all got to do something. We've all got to focus on ourselves and on our loved ones. So huge shout out to my loved ones. My sisters, I couldn't have done this without y'all. My mom, you're always supportive to me. And my good friends, thank you so much for reaching out, encouraging me. Also want to give a huge shout out to a couple specific people here in St. Pete. Chris, my neighbor Chris, he's an ultra marathoner. He now lives in the South Pacific. But when I first met him, we started walking, we started watching Star Wars and talking through things. And he was the first one who put the triathlon bug in my head. So I appreciate you, Chris. I appreciate you believing in me when I couldn't believe in myself. My other neighbor, Josh, I love the fact that I can catcall you when we drive by each other and you will do it right back to me. I love the fact that you're out there grinding, sweating, working, trying to be better. You know, you're the 50 OG. Then also, it would be remiss if I didn't mention Whitney. You are amazing. You inspire me to go to Rollin' Oats and get my bougie smoothies all the time. You run when it's too hot. You run when it's too cold. You run when it's rainy. You are an inspiration. You are a machine. Absolutely stellar. I love the fact that I can call you a friend and a mentor. I love that I can come to you with ideas. You're the one that helped me put the sponsorship thing together. And there's so many more amazing athletes in the city of St. Pete and in the community in Florida. I love some of the gear companies that I've worked with. It's been so great to get to know y'all. I look forward to working with y'all potentially in the future. I look forward to using your products and talking well about you. It's funny, you know, a lot of people, they lose weight and then instantly they start wearing these hyper toxic brands. And I'm looking forward to staying true to the companies that helped me when no one else wanted to, when no one wanted to treat me like an athlete because I was a big person. These brands provided clothes. When I do eventually get skinnier, I don't want to support the companies that were toxic to overweight people. They're toxic at their core, and I want to stay away from them. So, Yazam, I know y'all are out of Miami, but these shirts, I found y'all randomly when I looked up a Tiger shirt 2.5 years ago. And since then, I haven't looked back. They're stretchy, they breathe, they're amazing for sports, and y'all do amazing custom work. Look at this. We sent them this JPEG. Mike created this and it's all interwoven in the fiber. There's no print to flake off. There's no embroidery to scratch. It's this amazing fabric with exactly what we wanted on it. I am so pumped to wear this shirt and represent Team Herban Flow at these upcoming races. So I can finally say I am a sponsored athlete. I never thought I'd be able to say that. And that means a lot to me. So to Mike and to Caitlin, thank you for believing in me. And look forward to representing you out there on the trail and on the beach and on the road. And I look forward to seeing where this can go. Let's grow Team Herban Flow. Let's get this huge. I think y'all are an amazing brand, and I'm so proud to represent y'all. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Cheers, y'all.